Welcome to Daily with Doc and Becca. This program is for educational purposes only. The statements in this program have not been evaluated by the FDA. The content is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any diseases, nor is it intended to take the place of your primary care physician. Testimonials are shared as individual experiences of the individual sharing their testimony. Results vary and may not be typical. We do not make any claims regarding health or income. As an empowered individual, you do have options available. We are honored to have the founding father of the science of epigenetics guiding us with the best options to obtain or maintain optimal health, Dr. Joel Wallach. Welcome to Daily with Doc and Becca. This program is for educational purposes only. The statements in this program have not been evaluated by the FDA. The content is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any diseases, nor is it intended to take the place of your primary care physician. Testimonials are shared as individual experiences of the individual sharing their testimony. Results vary and may not be typical. We do not make any claims regarding health or income. As an empowered individual, you do have options available. We are honored to have the founding father of the science of epigenetics guiding us with the best options to obtain or maintain optimal health, Dr. Joel Wallach. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Daily with Doc and Becca. My name is Becca Dukes, and as the hostess of this program and also the Director of Student Services for the Institute of Holistic Health, it is my honor and privilege to provide empowering information. Empowering in the fact that it empowers you to thrive. So if you're looking to thrive, you are in the right place. Let's go ahead and open up that waiting room. Let people in. Hello, everybody. Yes, we have a live audience. So if you have questions for Dr. Wallach, we will be going through questions as well as I have hundreds that are emailed in. We're going to be tapping into those and those who raise their hands and offer or request to have their questions answered here on Daily with Doc. Now, if you're out on the different platforms, which there are many, I think the last count I did was 25 different platforms or apps that we are broadcasting on, please let us know that you're there. If there's a way to leave a comment, leave us a comment. Let us know if you're watching the live or a replay and what state or country you are watching from. Now, if there's no way to, please send us an email. Let us know where you're at. We want to know that our message is being heard. You can send us an email at questions@dailywithdoc.com. That's to let us know where you're at, or even ask a question that you would like to have answers for. And those answers will be derived based on Dr. Wallach's research and using food as medicine. And folks, the food is null and void. So that means we've got to use specialty things, including supplementation, to make sure your body is getting exactly what it needs. Now, this program is a resource for an amazing community. So if somebody shared this video or this live program with you, make sure that you get back with them. And folks, if you are sharing this program with others, please let them know, make it clear that, hey, if you have any questions, please get back with me. I have my ways of getting answers, and I want to make sure that you get the best answers possible. And also, because I care about you, I want to make sure that you realize how valuable you are, and I will provide the best service for you. Okay, just some helpful hints there. Now, if you are live with us, again, if you have questions, raise that hand, as we will be calling on hands in the order that they are raised. If you're out on a platform where you can make a comment, make a comment. I've got an amazing team of co-hosts that are watching the different platforms to bring those questions into the show as well. And if we do not get to your questions, again, questions@dailywithdoc.com. Now, this program is being sponsored by dailywithdoc.com, where we have replays of our past shows. We also have a good foods, bad foods list. So a lot of people ask me, well, what can I eat? What should I not eat? Well, we've got it right there on the website. Go to the website. It's right in the menu, Dr. Wallach's 10 good foods, bad foods list. And today we're going to be talking about some of the research that led to that list. So stay tuned. Also, we have a store. That store is for those who have not been referred by somebody specific. If you found us on your own, or you know your preferred wholesale customer number, feel free to use the store and use your numbers at the checkout. But otherwise, get a hold of the person that shared this program with you. If there is no one to thank, you can give my call team a call at 855-949-3377. We offer those wholesale prices to our customers as well. We want to make sure that we are helping you get exactly what it is that's going to reach your health goals within your budget. So no matter what your budget is, folks, there are options to help you thrive. So grab that empowerment, get ready to take some notes, as it is my honor and privilege to bring to the screen and the world an author of 25 different books, a gentleman who has a Bachelor of Science in Plant and Soil Sciences, a Doctor of Veterinary Medicine. He has 3 postdoctorates in pathology. I mean, he gets down and dirty and, gets his hands dirty, folks. But 3 postdoctorates in pathology. He is also a naturopathic physician. He is one of the founding fathers of the science of epigenetics, which, if you have not heard about epigenetics and you've been told that you have a genetic condition, you're in for a treat, because folks, that does not mean that when your time here expires that you still have to have that condition. As he is one of the founding fathers of the science of epigenetics, epigenetics is the death of the genetic theory, folks. It gives us hope and knowing that we have things that we can do to change our health story. So grab your note, grab your pen, take notes. If you're here live with us, you want to make sure that you have that chat box open, because Marilyn takes the best notes of all, and you can go ahead and do screenshots, take pictures with your camera, or even just copy the notes that she takes, because she does such a fantastic job. Not to put any pressure on you, Marilyn, just keep doing what you do and be, the optimal person that you are. So, folks, some of my favorite books have been written by this author. And as I was doing some review, there's books that I need to reread, because whenever you have something that is full of knowledge, full of stories, things that pull your interest in and keep you interested in wanting to know what's on the next page, nobody does it better than Dr. Joel Wallach. So Dr. Wallach, I have had the honor of working very closely with you, hosting you on the show for 5 years now, I think maybe even more when we were doing just Ask Doc Live on Fridays. And then 2 years as your personal assistant. Doc, you just keep on going. You continue to research and write. I mean, even at 85 years old, in the last 5 years, you've put out 4 new publications, which I think is just fantastic that you continue to go. So I would like to go through and highlight some of the books that you have written, Dr. Wallach, and let's talk about them as to, what they're about. I want to just point out things that you have put in these that, folks, you need to get your hands on these books. And you can go to drjwallach.com. You'll find a whole list of Dr. Wallach's publications there on the website, or call 800. What's the number, Doc?
800-755-4656, 1-800-755-4656.
Thank you. Somebody keeps moving my cheat sheet here. I mean, I don't know who that'd be, but let's start out with your bestseller of all. Now, Dr. Wallach, Dead Doctors Don't Lie. I mean, this can be a book that captures attention, or for the medical community, it's like, I don't want to read that. But folks, in this book, Dr. Wallach, you go really deep into so many different things, talking about history, and not just history, but the research that you have found that goes so deep into what is actually ailing us around the world. So, Doc, why Dead Doctors Don't Lie?
Okay, well, doctors historically have been amongst the most trusted group of people to the human community. Well, my doctor said, that's all you hear is my doctor said, my doctor told me, okay? And unfortunately, at that time, 99% of it was incorrect. Now, 95% of it's incorrect. Okay. And what I have had the blessing of a lot of great teachers, a lot of great students, and a lot of great positions, jobs, doing things. For instance, the giveaways. These are giveaways. Some years ago, it was known that every species of bears in the world got liver cancer in zoos. We're talking about black bears, brown bears, polar bears, Kodiak bears, every kind of bear you can think of. They could get liver cancer, but no other animals in the zoos got liver cancer. So it had to be some basic thing that was happening. It took me 3 days to get it figured out what it was. Okay. And what it was that the zoos were selling peanuts at the front gate so they could get money to run the show, so to speak. And then they said, yeah, just throw these to the bears, they'll dance for you and all that kind of stuff. So when the bears would see somebody with one of those bags that had the peanuts in it, they'd stand up on their hind legs and wave their front legs and dance and all that kind of stuff. People would throw the peanuts at them. They'd eat the peanuts, and peanuts grow on the ground. And peanuts grow on the ground, and they get contaminated with a fungus that has the stuff in it that causes liver cancer. Okay.
So, Dr. Wallach, you were observant. I mean, and even talks here in your book where you've gone from the student to the teacher. So you paid attention to find little details that others may not have even thought about paying attention to. And then you find underlying causes and solutions. So as we're going through,
I want to interrupt you there. If I may. And you've all heard of people who drink a lot of beer get liver cancer. All those bears are getting liver cancer eating those peanuts, Well, what did the bartenders give the beer drinkers to attract them to come to their bar?
Well,
Peanuts.
in some places they do give peanuts, and I'd love to see some demographics and some statistics being to stick, because that's in my background.
These beer drinkers would get liver cancer just like the bears because they're getting the fungus that produces the chemical that causes the liver cancer. And so I put all that together, and I think about 3 years ago, it was published in the International Zoo Yearbook. Okay, it was a great story. It wasn't new, but it took a while to get it because it takes a while to teach a community to change something they've been doing for 100 years or 200 years or 1,000 years. And let's see here, let me read a couple of paragraphs from the first couple of pages of the preface of the book, Dead Doctors Don't Lie. Okay. Over the years, great cults have motivated zealous health disciples, propagating vegetarianism, macrobiotics, biofeedback, meditation, exercise, pure thought, yoga. The lapdog followers of the allopathic cult has even called for free medical care for all, to the thrill of the vote buying politicians. Despite the sermonizing, okay, none of these practices have extended the human life span in America to more than 75.5 years. Only 62% of our human genetic potential for longevity of 120 to 140 years. Okay. Is allopathic medicine more cultish than science? Yes. The greatest scientific thinkers, usually legend in their own minds, frantically search for ways to hang on to the life until some serendipitous miracle discovery is made. It will save the day as long as it can be patented and passes the allopathic inquisition. That is, okay? Allopathic physicians, whether labeled MDs, DOs, allopaths who crack backs, okay, which are
Chiropractors
chiropractors
or DOs.
or DOs, okay, extol the virtues of vaccinations, the annual physical eating from 4 food groups, a ritual from eating from the 4 food groups, reducing your salts and fat intake, which is part of why you get disease. You can't reduce salt.
Bad idea.
Bad idea. Okay, but that's what they thought was good. Yet if these methods in themselves were sufficient to produce true health and longevity, doctors would live as long or longer than the average American. However, close inspection shows you that white medical doctors in America live to be 75, Black medical doctors live to be 67. That's hardly a testimony to a
longevity.
Which is a claim. That's the word I was looking for. Which is a claim. The doctors say, "We're doctors. Listen to me." Well, I would listen to you if you lived to be 122, like the Pakistanis right now, the Huns in the Himalayan mountains. They have all these little villages. Their average lifespan is 122. They don't have a single medical doctor in any of these villages. They live to be 122. It's not a genetic thing. Okay, it's a simple, they're getting the minerals coming down from the mountains. The land is flowing with milk and honey. Okay, the milk was not cow's milk or camel's milk. It was glacial milk. Glaciers grinding up the rocks. White dust got into the water coming down the side of the mountains. It looked like milk from a half a mile away. It looked like milk coming down the side of the mountain. It's in the old Bible 2,000 years ago. The land flowing with milk.
Mineral rich water.
It was the minerals in the water. It was the minerals in the water they use for cooking, for irrigation of their gardens, for drinking. And so they're getting all these minerals. And just say 10 miles away, they weren't getting those minerals. Those people all lived to be 25, 30, 50, that sort of stuff. Okay. And Dr. Milan and I, we literally went around the world and we started analyzing the soil in these places where people lived a long time, lived in the places called lands flowing with milk and honey. And they all had at least 75 minerals in the soil. The neighboring communities had 3 or 4 or 5 or 10 or 20, and that's why they didn't live as long.
Well, and Dr. Wallach, that leads me to the next book that I want to talk about, but I want to continue to point out a few things in here. Is, we have all the different compounds, the periodic table. You go into those individual elements and you point out what role they play within the body. And you even go into the poor health conditions when you don't have those elements in your diet, which I think is absolutely fantastic, Dr. Wallach. And that in itself, you talk about a lot of different individual conditions and why they occur. And folks, you can find out more information about things that may be afflicting you here in the Dead Doctors Don't Lie book by Dr. Joel Wallach and Dr. Ma Lan. Now, Doc, you were talking about going around and doing soil samples, and that is what brought together this book, Rare Earths Forbidden Cures, where you do go through and share the analysis that you have done around the different locations. But it's more than that. I mean, you even go into the birth defects and what nutrients or lack of nutrients lead to birth defects like cleft palate, and mental diseases.
Well, there's literally hundreds of birth defects, okay? And they're all caused by nutritional deficiencies. There are no birth defects that are caused by bad genes, bad genetics. And, excuse me, these are 2 short books. Let's see here. This one's.
I'll hold them up, Doc. I'll hold them up so that your voice isn't muffled, okay?
Yeah. It's All in Your Head is 30 pages. The Metabolic Syndrome is 40 pages. And those 2 books cover, okay, 75 different diseases. Okay, that are caused by nutritional deficiency, including gender confusion, where babies are born with all the equipment they're a boy, but they think they're a girl, or all the equipment they have as a girl, but they think they're a boy. Okay, there was simple nutritional deficiencies in early pregnancy, and all the equipment was being formed in the embryo, and the mother was not taking prenatal vitamins. So you got to blame the physicians, the general family practitioner, and starting to take prenatal vitamins when you're 3 months pregnant is 3 months. No, you're 6 months too late. Okay, you're 6 months too late in taking the vitamins and minerals. And that's why the babies are born with all these problems. And so that's why we came up with the product. Okay, let's see here.
Well, Doc, you talk a lot about that in many of your books, and your books you started writing back, 40 years ago, talking about these things, and doctors now are talking about them as if they're brand new subjects within the last 10 years.
Well, that subject of gender issues goes back thousands of years ago. They would see it in herds of cattle, or one bull, male, all the physical pieces of a male, but he thought he was a she, and cozied up to all the other bulls to try and get them to breed him, her, okay? And so they would, the farmers would kill that bull who thought he was a she and cook him and eat him. And they also had females who thought she was a he and tried to breed the other females to get them pregnant. And they would kill that female and cook her. That goes back thousands of years ago. So this is not a new thing. It's a nutritional deficiency that causes these confusions
in the brain.
In the brain, that think they're a girl when they're a boy, and they think they're a boy when they're a girl. Okay, so we came up with the kids toddy to give the kids the nutrition when they're born. It's a liquid, and they think it's fruit juice, so they love it. Kids toddy, and then we have one of my favorite products is for males. We have Zera Test. Zera test. It has the nutrients in it to make a male a more male, okay? And I take 2 or 3 of these twice a day, okay, in all my supplements. And then we have the ones for the females, okay, is Zera Fem, make sure she's getting all the nutrients, let her know, her body know that she's a female, and go that direction. So we came up with those programs. And so when you have a family that has a child that's confused about what's going on with themselves, make sure you get the Zera Fem for the little females and the Kids Toddy for the females. For the males, you get the Kids Toddy for the multiple, but you also get the Zera test for the males. If they think they're a girl, you want to get them the Zera test. If you get a girl and she thinks she's a boy, get the Zera Fem for her. And we've come up with these things and it works. Okay.
Well, and Doc, you can cut those pills in half if you're working with children that are under 50 pounds, grind that up, especially for those that can't swallow, and mix it in something like applesauce.
Yeah, mix it in applesauce or the Kids Toddy or both.
And that allows them then to have the nutrients they need, which was one of the questions that I was coming up with because they were wanting to know what are some great supplements for the children. So in addition to, let's go ahead and just address that right now, Doc, since we're talking about it. But you mentioned the Kids Toddy. That is a liquid concentrate. It just takes a teaspoon, depending on weight. It's written right there on the bottle. It does need to be refrigerated after opening, folks. And you can mix it in a little bit of water. You can just give it to them straight. Like Dr. Wallach said, it does taste like juice. So a little bit does a lot within those little bodies to help them get the nutrients that they need in order to thrive. That's what this program's all about. Now, Dr. Wallach, they also need essential fatty acids, don't they?
Oh, absolutely. That's part of the 90 essential nutrients, 16 minerals, 16 vitamins, 12 amino acids, 3 fatty acids. And again, that goes into the book, Dead Doctors Don't Lie. It goes into the book, Let's Play Doctor.
We're going to get to that, Doc. Let's just finish off with our kids nutrients. Okay, and there's also the kids sprinkles, which is a sprinkle. You just sprinkle it on their tongue. It also includes probiotics for digestive health. And there's the EFA plus, which if they can't swallow it, you can just puncture it, squeeze it out into their mouth, and then let them have something to drink afterwards. Or there's the multi-EFA, which is a smaller EFA. All of these are products that were put together by Dr. Wallach and his team as formulations to solutions to issues that were going on with humans around the world. They can be found from your Youngevity independent distributor. So make sure that you get back with the person that shared this program with you. Or if there's nobody to thank, give our call team a call at 855-949-3377. Now, Dr. Wallach is holding up the book Epigenetics, which is another one, which is actually my second book of hope. Of course, the first one is the Bible. This is the one that I had mentioned. If you've been told that you have a genetic disease, you can put yours down, Doc. I got mine up.
Okay.
This is a book that sheds light on what the underlying cause really is and what we can do to change that. So, Dr. Wallach, through your studies, and it's shown here on the back of Epigenetics, your studies in selenium uncovered a lot when it came to so many different birth defects, sudden infant death syndrome as well. Cystic fibrosis, muscular dystrophy. You have been able to help people around the world with these conditions.
Keyshan disease in China, which is sudden death syndrome. Okay, and it killed them when they were a couple of weeks old, but it kept killing them even up until the time they're 10 years old. Okay, Keyshan disease, which is essentially the same thing as sudden death syndrome. And so those are 4 diseases that I got rid of and got the Klaus Schwartz Award. And then also from the United Nations, I got the Lifetime Achievement Award from the United Nations. Okay, very, very proud of that. And it's one of those things where the average medical doctor, there you go, the average medical doctor out in the field they don't want to hear that. But the average medical doctor, the white medical doctor in the field lives to be 75. The average black medical doctor in America lives to be 60, 67, 65. Okay. And again, the Hunzas in the Himalayan mountains, they live to be 122. They don't have a single medical doctor from anywhere.
So, Doc, this leads me to my next question. You're showing that there's a difference between the life expectancy of different ethnic groups or races, color of skin. Are there genetic diseases that are primarily because of the color of our skin?
No, it's not genetic. It's because everybody's eating grandma's. Yes, and black gene lies, exactly. Everybody in the family is eating grandma's recipes. That's why they all have the same diseases. Okay, now you have to appreciate. Now this is the simplicity of the problem. You go back 300,000 years ago. What was the fuel? Wood and coal. They would put the wood ashes and coal ashes in their food for spice. They put the wood ashes and coal ashes into the gardens for fertilizer. And whatever was in the soil where the plant grew, that tree grew, okay, they were getting those minerals. And they might be getting 18 minerals. They may be getting 25. They may be getting 50, maybe 75. Okay, and the ones that got a lot of them, they lived in the land flowing with milk and honey. Well, then we have a problem. Okay, when we went to electricity at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, Monday, September 4th, 1882, and Thomas Edison pulled the switch on the first electric generating plant in New York City. Suddenly now, we gave up our source of minerals, which was the wood ashes and coal ash, when we went to electricity. And everybody, including the doctor, said, don't take any vitamins in or just eat right, you get everything you need. And they should go to jail for all the people they killed by saying that. We took away their source of minerals and said, don't take supplements. Just think of how terrible that was to the human community. And it's all, the doctors got to look in the mirror because they're the ones that made the problem. Because when they said, oh, you got rid of the trees, you got rid of the wood ashes, the coal ashes, let's start doing supplements. And they didn't. They told their patients, do not take supplements. You're just wasting your money. What a terrible thing to do.
Well, it absolutely is terrible, Dr. Wallach, because as we see through all of your research, the body needs 90 essential nutrients.
That's correct.
If there's nutrients missing or low, specific health conditions are just in your face. So it only makes sense, Dr. Wallach, that if we give the body what it needs, the body itself can ward off, because we can't say prevent, cure, diagnose. You know, the body can do amazing things.
Yeah, well, see,
You can't.
People treat their
I can't.
People treat their car better than they treat themselves. They treat their car better than they treat themselves. Okay, do they put dirt in their car instead of oil? No, they put oil in there. Do they put dirt in the gas tank instead of gasoline? No, they put gasoline in there. Okay, and they have all these gauges on their dashboard. They get in their car, they turn on the key, they're looking at all these gauges to tell you what's going on in all the various moving parts of the car and everything. And they check that out 4 or 5 times a day as they get in their car. You check yourself out sometimes once a year.
Well, for those of us who are paying attention, Dr. Wallach, we don't have to go to the doctor to check ourselves out. But yes, those yearly physicals, there's a lot of things that they can and can't help us with. So, Dr. Wallach, I want to also talk about, and this was one of my first ones that I purchased, was Let's Play Herbal Doctor. Now, I know the benefits of herbs. There's so many therapeutic things within herbs. Some of them have nutrients and minerals, which then we use as food. But you point out the value of herbs and how they can be used within the body to help different conditions. Now, Doc, when you started putting together the formulas that are offered by Longevity, they also include herbs. They complement, they synergize with those nutrients. So this one, I had so much going on with me. And when I opened up the book and I saw that you had the recommendations, for the bone disease that I was experiencing, for the weight gain that I had experienced through pregnancy. And then you also went into some of my favorite herbs, like the golden seal, ginger root, dandelion, both the leaf and the root, the aerial part, and the flower. I mean, you really provided a lot of information as I was going through classes. This was one of my reference books, Doc. This isn't my original one that I had. That one's too, ugly to put on the screen, but because I used it so much. But Doc, let's play Herbal Doctor. Why would you go from nutrients to herbs?
Well, I didn't go from one to the other. I just added the other.
Oh, okay.
Okay. You have to appreciate that herbs put the idea in doctors' brains that you could come up with a chemical that reduces symptoms of a disease or got rid of a disease. Okay. And we're talking about everything from antibiotics to, because there's antibiotics in some of the herbs, right? And so these are the herbs were teachers. Okay. And of course, you go back hundreds and then thousands of years ago, herbalists would go from house to house, farm to farm, and they'd talk to the family. Oh, you have this problem, this problem. Okay, take this. I'll be back in a week, blah, 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 blah. They come back in a week. How you doing? Oh, it went away. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Got some more of that. Okay. And so herbs were the first pharmaceuticals.
Yep.
Okay. And then, of course, salt was one of the first pharmaceuticals. People on the coast would boil the salt water and they get the salt and they would take it into the inland areas that didn't have access to salt and they'd sell it for their animals and for the people. And the sea salt had more than just sodium chloride in it. It had all kinds of other minerals in there. And then they would mix these things with the big salt licks for cattle. They'd put in the
trace minerals. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So Dr. Wallach, as we're going through your books, I mean, they not only are they books that tell history, but they tell the story. When you're talking about the herbs and the nutrients, they think of naturopaths, homeopaths, functional medicine doctors as alternative medicine, when in all actuality, they're the original.
They were the original.
Right. And now we're looking at billion-dollar industry when it comes to the medical system and how much we're paying in order to manage health when it's actually just managing poor health. And why not empower yourself with the knowledge that's included in Dr. Wallach's books to help you do more than just manage poor health, but actually make a U-turn?
Yeah, let me give you another example. Let me give you another example, right where you're at. The flip chart, you go to page 26 and it lists, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12, 18. It lists 18 different diseases, but there's actually about 25 that are caused by deficiency of the essential fatty acids, which you asked about earlier. Okay, page 26. Alzheimer's disease.
This is EFAs, but this also would include the same things that are caused because of cholesterol deficiencies.
Exactly. Parkinson's disease, Alzheimer's disease. And we're talking about, this is so very simple. So very simple. Okay. These diseases are all caused by deficiencies of the material that makes the white matter of the brain. And what is the material that makes the white matter of the brain, the myelin of the brain?
Cholesterol.
Cholesterol. Doctors say don't eat cholesterol because it blocks your arteries. No, it's only fried cholesterol that you have to worry about. Okay. Your myelin of your brain and spinal cord is 85% cholesterol. If you're taking the doctor's pills to reduce your cholesterol and avoiding all sources of dietary cholesterol, you're going to get Alzheimer's disease. You're going to get Parkinson's disease. And on the next page, I believe it's page 27, we have Madeline O's story. And she had Parkinson's disease for 9 years, 10 years, 11 years. We got her on our program, to make a long story short, because one of her, and she'd been going to the doctor for at least 9 years, okay, and told that she only had a little bit longer to live. One of her relatives was also a member of Youngevity, okay, so he calls me and says, what can we do for her? So I told him what to do. And to make a long story short, in 2.5 months, she goes in for her regular sort of quarterly physical, and she didn't have Parkinson's disease anymore after 12
She
years.
no longer had the symptoms.
She no longer had the disease.
So, Dr. Wallach, are you saying that even if we're going down this road where we have symptoms of devastating diseases, that if we change the way we eat and the things that we have in our environment and we intentionally supplement, we can actually change the outcome?
Absolutely. Absolutely. We're talking about Alzheimer's disease, Parkinson's disease, multiple sclerosis, ALS, amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, Huntington's chorea, frontotemporal dementia, Charcot-Marie-Tooth, Bell's palsy, cervical spondylosis, carpal tunnel syndrome. All these things are preventable and reversible. I don't care if you've had them for 10, 15, 20 years. They're reversible.
And we don't have to get them, because he used that word preventable as well.
That is correct. And so this is why I like people to use the flip chart and the Let's Play Doctor book, or the flip chart, the book Dead Doctors Don't Lie, or the flip chart, okay, and the book Epigenetics, the flip chart and the book The Wallach Revolution. Okay, it's one of those things where you get 2 or 3 of our information sources, and you follow the directions there and we've come up with over, let's see here, 600 diseases we know how to prevent and reverse. 600 diseases we know how to prevent and reverse. And of course, there's 2,500, what should I say?
Symptoms?
Herbs and all that kind of stuff. Okay, but we have several hundred of them. Okay, and so I take, when you look at my eating table, I have 50 bottles or products on the table. Each of those bottles is different. Okay, and I take 2 or 3 of those twice a day, once in the morning, breakfast, and once in the evening, dinner time. And then, of course, I have the Rebound, or sports drink, which I made for Theo Ratliff, great basketball player. His career was going down the tubes. They told him, you have to have your knees replaced, your hips replaced, but you'll never play basketball again. He said, I'm not going to have any replacement. I'll just coach. And one of his teammates brought him to me. Okay. And I made the glucogel for him, added it to our Healthy Start Pack. The Healthy Start Pack was before the Healthy Brain and Heart Pack. And I added the glucogel to the Healthy Start Pack and made it the Healthy Bone and Joint Pack for him. And then I came up with the Rebound for him so he'd have energy to go through the entire game. And guess what?
And it's not just sugar and caffeine, Dr. Wallach.
Oh, no. It
got
has
the minerals in there, B vitamins.
It's got 95 minerals and all the known vitamins in here. Okay. It tastes great. I take 2 of these a day, one at breakfast and one before 3 o'clock. Because if you take it after 3 o'clock, you'll be up all night. Okay. And you put this into one of these little quart bottles of drinking water. And that's how I take 2 a day. And they come in boxes of 30. So I need 2 of those boxes a month. And
so Dr. Wallach, we do have hands up. I want to make sure we have some time for questions.
Okay.
As I promised in the beginning of the show, folks, you can find Dr. Wallach's books at drjwallach.com. Give Wellness Publications a phone call. Place your orders today, 800-755-4656. And Dr. Wallach gives a very nice discount. So if you buy 10 books of the same title, you get a great discount on those. Great Christmas gifts. If you're in if it's part of you, of who you are, in wanting to share better health, what better thing to do than share a book that empowers people to thrive, helping them get the information that they need, spelling it out black and white of what they can actually do to help themselves. So Dr. Wallach, let's go to the first hand that is up, and Jill. Jill, go ahead and unmute yourself.
Hello.
Hi, Jill, can we hear you?
Yes.
Yes.
Hi, Dr. Wallach.
Hi, Jill. How can we help you?
I have a customer. He's been taking their Healthy Body Start Pack for about a year. He's 6'2", 174 pounds, and he's 68 years old. And he thought he was in really good health. And then out of the blue, he got a DVT in his leg. And he had one 15 years ago, but he hasn't had any since then. And so, you know, now he's on a really high dose of a blood thinner, and the doctors are trying to work through getting that out of his leg. But he's asking me about the future, like once he's past this, what he should change up to make sure.
Okay, give me his weight.
174.
Okay. And his main complaint is blood clots?
He has a blood clot in his leg. He had one 15 years ago. He hasn't had any since, except for this. And they put him on Eliquis on a very high dose. He doesn't want to stay on it, but right now they're still trying to get rid of the blood clot.
Okay. All right. So a guy who's 174 pounds needs to get rid of all the bad foods. No fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no gluten, no wheat, butter, oats, no buckwheat, no sugar, no carbonated drinks. Even the diet ones need to go. And then he needs to get on 2 healthy brain and heart packs a month, a full dose of breakfast, full dose of dinner time. He also needs the Ultimate Daily Classic tablets. The Ultimate Daily Classic tablets will prevent blood clots, will get blood flowing through blocked arteries, get blood flowing in the kidneys, the heart, the brain. Needs the I-26 for the brain and spinal cord and the large nerves, including the vagus nerve, which goes from the brain all the way down to your toes. Okay. And then he needs a rebound for energy and all that kind of stuff. And let's see here. Did I miss anything, Rebecca?
He does. I neglected to mention he takes the selenium also, and so of course he still needs that. I'm sure.
Yeah, he still needs extra selenium twice a day, and of course,
wondering about the niacin, if that was something he should be taking.
Niacin is also useful. I take one of those at breakfast and one at dinner time.
And then
if you take too many, you'll get all flushed.
Yeah, and then he does also take nightly essence, which has a nattokinase in it as well.
Okay, that's fine. Then give us a call every couple of weeks, because this will turn around to the positive very, very quickly.
All right. Thank you, Doc.
You bet.
All right. Thank you so much, Jill. And yes, I was going to mention the niacin plus, as it does have the nattokinase in there, and also the nightly essence, which has the nattokinase and bromelain, both very amazing enzymes that help to break through those clots, and not just breaking them up into pieces, Dr. Wallach, but it actually dissolves them, so because we don't want them breaking up into pieces, do we? Because
Nope.
Otherwise they could go to the heart, they could go to the brain, they could get stuck in the lungs. No. So we do things safely, as Dr. Wallach has put together these formulas with his team so that they are working with the body. Now, Dr. Wallach, let's go to the next hand that is up. And Sam, go ahead and unmute yourself.
Hi, this is Sam D'Alessandro. How are you?
Okay, Sam.
Fantastic.
Sir.
Yeah. Hey, my question is for my daughter. My daughter is 27 years old. Our family's been on the 90 for life since about 2014. As the kids were growing up, we added them to it all. But she has bunions on her foot. Is there anything she can add that she's already taking in the 90 for life that would help with those?
Okay. She really should have the I-26. Do you know how much she weighs?
Yeah, she weighs about 105 pounds.
Okay. So she needs to take, say, 2 of the chewables at breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That's going to help her with the nerves and also the myelin in the brain and spinal cord, and also the big nerves like the vagus nerve, cranial nerve number 10 goes all the way down into the toes. Doctors oftentimes want to operate and take all the bunions off and take the toes off and amputate the feet because they're making people crazy with pain and itching and all that kind of stuff. But that's because they're being squeezed up in the skull. Babies can be born with osteoporosis of the skull, causing these problems that are down low. Okay. And so let's get on these. And of course, if they're itching and burning and hurting, she can put the CM cream on them. And take about 10, 15 minutes and the pain goes away for several hours. That's the CM cream.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. That's very helpful.
You're very welcome. Call us every couple of weeks. Let us know how she's doing.
Okay, will do.
God bless.
All right. Thank you so much, Sam. And folks, just a reminder that as you're listening and you think of yourself or somebody you know that is dealing with some of the symptoms that are being shared here on the program, and Dr. Wallach giving the nutritional recommendations, take note, share this program with them, or take action yourself. Get a hold of the person that shared this program with you, or if there's no one that shared it, call our team, 855-949-3377, and one of the certified holistic health coaches there will help you get the nutrients that you need based on Dr. Wallach's research and recommendations as well. Now, Dr. Wallach, the next question is in regards to arthritis and bone spurs in both shoulders. So it says, Dear Dr. Wallach, I have heard you speak on George Norrie's show, and I wonder if you can avoid, if I can avoid 2 surgeries by following your regimen, including a preparation that allows the joints to grow back cartilage. I thought I heard you mention something like that, but it was so fast, I can't be sure. So this is Suzanne, Dr. Wallach. She wants to know what can she do to work on the painful shoulders without having surgery from conditions like arthritis and bone spurs. So at 125 pounds, Dr. Wallach, what would you recommend?
Okay. Okay. Yeah, well, she needs to see, we see this all the time. And that's sort of the story of Theo Ratliff, the basketball player who's 7 foot something or other. Okay. And his career is over. And I rebuilt him. I created the Healthy Bone and Joint Pack. Okay. And the glucogel and the rebound for him, gave him his career back and regrew all his cartilage and so forth. This is very simple stuff. Repeat that. This is very simple stuff. And so at 120 pounds, with those problems, 125, with those problems, I'd have her take 2 Healthy Brain and Heart Packs per month. 2 Healthy Brain and Heart Packs per month, a full dose of breakfast, full dose at dinner time. Then she needs the CM cream for pain in those joints, okay? And then she needs the CM cream for pain, okay? And I would also use the I-26. So the nerves are going to give good information to all the joints, but and don't forget the rebound. That'll give you energy without giving you all the bad stuff. No carbonation, none of that kind of thing. The rebound, she could have 2 of those a day. And this is very simple. All of her complaints can go away. We deal with this thousands of times a day all over the world. And no matter whether you're a girl or a boy or how old you are, people have these problems for 25, 30, 40, 50 years. And in weeks they get better, and in months it goes away. Okay. So let's give it a shot, because I think it'll be a great story.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for that, Dr. Wallach. And you mentioned the CM cream that can be used. I like to mix about 12 drops of clary sage in that 2 ounce of CM cream, and that just helps with better calcium absorption into the bones. So it's just a little aromatherapy, therapeutic, essential oil use recommendation there. Now, Dr. Wallach, we have Keely who has a question. Keely has a client who is 72 years old, a female, 135 pounds. And since birth, she's been experiencing narcolepsy. It got worse during puberty. She's never been able to stay awake. She could never drive. And she's wanting to know, what is the root cause? Because you are the doctor of root causes. And what are your recommendations?
Okay, now,
So,
narcolepsy, is she falling
Dr.
asleep all the
Wallach.
time, or is she getting up all the time?
Well, no, it says right here, it says never able to stay awake. So she's asleep all the time.
Okay. Well, she's getting rid of all the bad foods: no fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no gluten, no wheat, brown rice, no buckwheat, no sugar, no carbonated drinks. And then she's right there at the cusp. Again, 2 healthy brain and heart packs, 1 full dose at breakfast, 1 full dose at dinner time. And then I would have her take the Ultimate Daily Classic tablets. Ultimate Daily Classic tablets. Okay. And I would also have her take the
How about the sweeties, Dr. Wallach?
Huh?
How about the sweeties?
Okay, she could have sweeties, yeah, sweeties. That could be related to a blood sugar problem, but I would think that the medical doctors would have figured that one out over all these years. But the I-26 is going to help the myelin in the brain and the spinal cord. And she may have kind of a form of narcolepsy, or Parkinson's disease. Or,
well, that's what she's been diagnosed with, Dr. Wallach, is narcolepsy.
Okay, well, she may have Parkinson's disease, she may have Alzheimer's disease. Okay. And so the rebound should help her stay awake.
All right. And is that because of the caffeine or because of the nutrients that work with the body for energy?
Both. We're coming at it from 2 different directions with the rebound.
Okay. And what would be an underlying cause of narcolepsy? Because that is her main first question.
Okay, the baby could have been born with a deficiency of the myelin in the brain and the spinal cord.
So even babies can have deficiencies.
Well, if the mother is not getting all the nutrients she needs, she can't give something to her baby she doesn't have.
It's true. Very true. All right. So Keely, I hope that is helpful. Because, narcolepsy is a neurological condition. It disturbs the sleep cycles and wake cycles, and characterized by excessive sleeping in the daytime and sudden falling asleep. So, Dr. Wallach, we're at the top of the hour. If I could get the co-host to come on with us. Again, folks, you can find Dr. Wallach's books at drjwallach.com. Give them a call at 800-755-4656. And if you would like a copy of Dr. Wallach's educational brochure, you can email me at info@dailywithdoc.com, and I will get a copy of his informational brochure over to you so you can see what Dr. Wallach offers and what you have available to help get that literature and information you need to be an empowered individual and thrive. So yes, Dr. Wallach is holding that up. I also have it in a digital format so that we can get that right over to you and without having to wait on the post office. So Dr. Wallach, today we have on with us AJ, who has his hand up. Did I miss you? I'm sorry. AJ, do you have a question for Doc?
You kind of addressed it a bit, but this woman Peggy wrote in, and she has issues with her arteries, inflammatory situation with her arteries, and she another with muscle pain and stiffness in the shoulders, upper arms, and her hips, sometimes in the neck. And they put her on prednisone for 6 years, and she's on another medication, and she's trying to figure out what she can do to get off the medications.
Okay, well, she needs to get rid of all the bad foods, no fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no glutens, no wheat, butter, rye oats, no buckwheat, no sugar, no carb drinks. That one's got to go. She needs 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month, a full dose of breakfast, full dose of dinner time. And here's the secret sauce for her. She needs the Ultimate Daily Classic tablets, get blood flowing through blocked arteries in the brain, the heart, the liver, the kidneys, the bones, every place all over the body, the skin. Okay. And the kidneys will be happy, the heart will be happy, the brain will be happy, but she also needs the I-26. She needs 3 of the chewables twice a day, or 3 of the capsules twice a day, or 3 servings of the powder twice a day, whichever one she chooses. Okay. And that will cover everything from the brain all the way down to the toes.
Thank you, Doc.
You bet. God bless.
Thank you so much, Dr. Wallach. I apologize, AJ. Didn't mean to, leave you out in the cold. That's for sure. As you are the director of marketing for the Daily with Doc show, he makes sure that we are out and available on all the different platforms. So we definitely don't want to cut him short. Thank you, AJ. And we have Ruth Ellen Sanchez, who is our production manager, executive production manager, who helps to keep us all in line and everything running smoothly, including the stream that goes out as she is capturing the Zoom itself, putting it together with the graphics. And that's what you are seeing out on the different platforms where you can watch the live stream or replay without being here in the live Zoom. So thank you so much, Ruth Ellen, for all that you do. We have Albert, who joins us from South Africa late in the evening, helping to make sure people are getting into the Zoom room so that they can hear live the information that Dr. Wallach is sharing and have the opportunity to ask questions. We also have Marilyn, as I mentioned earlier. She is the fingers behind the chat and getting the information available in a transcription as she is dictating or doing the dictation from what Dr. Wallach recommends and putting it there. We also have Sherry, who is joining us as part of the technical team. As you can see, she has several different certificates that she has accomplished, and she has found that when it comes to supplementation, Longevity has the solutions to what she had been searching for in her practice as a certified coach from multiple different establishments. So thank you so much, Sherry, as you are an amazing part of our team. And I love the fact that, you found the value in what Dr. Wallach has put together and have decided to join us amongst all the other things that you do as well. Folks, my name is Becca Dukes. As the Director of Student Services for the Institute of Holistic Health, community herbalist myself, statistician, which I was working in the medical industry and just told myself I was going to find whatever it took that I did not need that medical device that I was part of the manufacturing of. And then also, just bringing my heart and my story and how I've been benefited by Dr. Wallach's program, his books, and the solutions so that I can help others which has then allowed me to be able to do this full time. And I love helping others, as everybody else here on the show with me does as well. You know, it's been a journey, folks. And if you're looking for somebody that's been through a journey and have found the light on the other side, you're in the right place, because each and every one of us have a story that we would love to help you create your own story, because this is all about you, folks. We don't do this for us. We do this because we care about you. So be the victor of your own health story. Give Dr. Wallach's program 90 days. Get back with the person that shared this program with you so that you can get the right products fresh, direct from the manufacturer. And if there's nobody to get back to, again, my team is here for you at 855-949-3377. Until next time, thank you so much for joining us. We are available Monday through Friday from 12 to 1 p.m. Pacific time by going to zoom.dailywithdoc.com. Again, that's Zoom, ZOOM.dailywithdoc.com. And AJ wants to say one more thing, as we have pharmacist Ben Fuchs on with us. It is Pharmacist Fridays on Daily with Doc. So make sure that you are joining us tomorrow, again, 12 to 1 p.m. Pacific time. Anything else, AJ, that I need to not?
Thanks, Dr. Wallach.
You're very welcome.
Yes.
Sir. Thank you for all you do.
Absolutely. Thank you again, Dr. Wallach, for starting this crusade and allowing us to continue on and share your message and continue the legacy that you have started in helping others help themselves.
Thank you, Rebecca, for getting all that information out there. Thank you, team, everybody. God bless. All this
God bless you, Doc.
Lackadere in South Africa.
Awesome. Bye for now,
Bye,
everybody.
Doctor.
Bye-bye.
Welcome to Daily with Doc and Becca. This program is for educational purposes only. The statements in this program have not been evaluated by the FDA. The content is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any diseases, nor is it intended to take the place of your primary care physician. Testimonials are shared as individual experiences of the individual sharing their testimony. Results vary and may not be typical. We do not make any claims regarding health or income. As an empowered individual, you do have options available. We are honored to have the founding father of the science of epigenetics guiding us with the best options to obtain or maintain optimal health, Dr. Joel Wallach. Welcome to Daily with Doc and Becca. This program is for educational purposes only. The statements in this program have not been evaluated by the FDA. The content is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any diseases, nor is it intended to take the place of your primary care physician. Testimonials are shared as individual experiences of the individual sharing their testimony. Results vary and may not be typical. We do not make any claims regarding health or income. As an empowered individual, you do have options available. We are honored to have the founding father of the science of epigenetics guiding us with the best options to obtain or maintain optimal health, Dr. Joel Wallach. Welcome to Daily with Doc and Becca. This program is for educational purposes only. The statements in this program have not been evaluated by the FDA. The content is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any diseases, nor is it intended to take the place of your primary care physician. Testimonials are shared as individual experiences of the individual sharing their testimony. Results vary and may not be typical. We do not make any claims regarding health or income. As an empowered individual, you do have options available. We are honored to have the founding father of the science of epigenetics guiding us with the best options to obtain or maintain optimal health, Dr. Joel Wallach.